What's up, Brown Nation? It's your girl Renaalise, and I'm back at it again with another video. And today we are going to get into my Houston bottle girl experience, okay? Because I feel like y'all just really need the tea on being a bottle girl in Houston. I feel like y'all think it's all peaches and cream and it's all gravy, and it's really, I mean, it is. Don't get me wrong. The funs be fun, but you just have your moments where it's like you got to be realistic. And yeah, so I'm not really here to give off tips, I'm not really here to give a story time, but I do want y'all to understand like how these clubs here are ran. So, and then also like the difference between like what type of bottle girl you are or all of that. So let's get into it.
Are you a Nicki fan?
What? Am I a Nicki fan? Pull up in the Sri Lanka.
Pull up in a monster, automobile gangster with a bad bitch that came from Sri Lanka. Yeah, I'm in a tanga, color a Willy Wonka. You could be the king, but watch the queen conquer. First things first, I'll eat your brains. Then I'ma.
So the first thing I'll say is I'm gonna give my experience a rating on a scale from 1 to 10. I'm gonna give my bottle girl experience a 7.5 because I feel like being a bottle girl in Houston, you do have to really know people to be a bottle girl here, and like a high ranking bottle girl, because it's definitely levels to this shit. Like, don't get it confused. It's definitely levels. But you also, it's levels and demographics. So I'm gonna just say for me, I feel like I was in like a low tier, and then I moved to like a medium tier. I never went to the high tier, because the high tier, those girls, a lot of times they sell their hoo-ha, okay? And I don't want to be one of the girls that's selling their hoo-ha. So yeah, bottle girling out here in Houston, it's really fun. Like, you get invited to parties, you get invited to like exclusive parties, like with celebrities. You get tips just because like, oh, so-and-so may know you. Like, you get a lot of perks. And especially for me being a makeup artist, a lot of my clientels come from me just having my face beat at work, and people be like, oh, let me book with you, your makeup look good, like, what's up? So it's definitely some perks to being a bottle girl, and you really just, you're making money having fun. Like, you're having fun and you're making a bag. Like, it's really just a no-brainer at this point. But I feel like bottle girling has such a negative connotation behind it, and people just assume like all bottle girls are hoes, but all bottle girls are out here letting dudes fill them up and like having, like, doing sexual things for money. And it's like, there are bottle girls who do that, but there are also nurses who do that. There are also doctors who do that shit. There are also lawyers who do that. There are also 9-to-5 workers that's freaky and be cheating on a man. Like, being a bottle girl does not make you do certain stuff. And I really feel like y'all need to lose that little mindset. A lot of people have to get that out their mind. So when they thinking like, oh, I want to be a bottle girl, or I want to do this, you cannot be scared to be a bottle girl. You have to be brave, and you have to be bold, and you have to be ready to do it, because again, there are a lot of perks. The money is good, the opportunities are good, the status is good, the experience is good. And sometimes like they have places where you can go and you get flown out and be bottle girls. Like, there are events where they need you to be like a waitress and all of this stuff. Like, I just got an opportunity today about that. So it's like, being a bottle girl is really just, it's an experience. And yeah, so for me, it's a 7.5. I feel like a lot of people don't really know too much about it to really have a opinion about it, because you don't really know until it's you. And that's just tea. Like, you don't know until it's you. So like, being a bottle girl, you don't know what it really is and what's really up until you're a bottle girl. You just have your assumptions. Like, we all have assumptions about different stuff. But I'm gonna just say, like, living in Houston, when I first came out here and I started my bottle girl experience, I was at this club, y'all, and the club was like so dead. Like, I was not making $1. I think the most I ever made working there was probably like $50-$60 the whole time I worked there. It was so dead, and it was just like, I don't know, y'all, it was just insane. Like, it was so dead. And then I had found this girl, and I messaged her like, hey, y'all hiring? And she's like, yeah, come in for an interview. So I went in looking like a head snatched head, came to grad like looking good, and I got the job. So I started working at this place out here. I'm not gonna name drop nobody or nothing, because like at this point it don't matter. I don't work there no more. So I started working there. I was making a nice bag, y'all. I was probably working like, we was only working on Fridays, and I was probably working like just that Friday and then doing makeup. Like I was good. My bills was paid. Like I was straight. And I think, yeah, we was just working that Friday. So then we ended up getting a Tuesday. So I was working Tuesday and Friday, y'all, making a bag. Like I stayed booking. Like, and that's another thing I will say. I'll get into the booking part later. But yeah, so like I stayed booking. I stayed making a bag off of it. I stayed like constantly making money. And again, I was only working on Fridays and some Tuesdays. So scratch out the Tuesdays, I was making all my bill money on Friday nights. Like I was probably walking away like $500-$600 every Friday. And then you add that up, that's like $2,000 a month. Like my bills is paid for that month. And then add on the Tuesdays, now I have extra income. And then add on my makeup, I was making a bag. Like I was doing good. Bottle girling, it really helps you, because it, first of all, especially if you're trying to like push yourself to do something, or like you have a goal you're trying to reach, or you're trying to buy something, or you're in school, like it's a beneficial thing for you. Like you're gonna eat. But you do have to be mindful of where you work though. Like I said, the first place I wasn't making nothing, baby. This place, check, like a real big check. And I was working for a promoter, so I wasn't working for the establishment. I was working on a promo team, and we will get into promo teams and establishments in a few minutes. So yeah, I was making a bag doing that. The promoter ended up getting into it with the establishment, and we had to leave. So for like a whole like 2-3 months, I wasn't making no money, because I was fixated on that money, y'all. Like bottle girling has perks, but it's definitely like, you just have to be on your P's and Q's, and you cannot be loyal in this shit. Like you cannot be loyal in this shit. Like don't get me wrong, I'm not saying say F everybody, but like y'all do not get caught up in this money. Like don't get caught up in this money. Don't get caught up trying to stay down so you can come up. Like they always say, stay down so you can come up. They love saying it out here. Don't do it, because let me tell y'all one thing about these promoters and these clubs. They are shiesty. They are shiesty. They are shiesty, and they're in it for themselves. If you become a liability for them, they will cut you like an umbilical cord, baby. You do not put yourself in a hole trying to stay down to come up. Like I promise you, do that for yourself. When I started this, being a bottle girl, my whole thing was, this is so I can gain clientele, and so that I can put money into Raw Beauty. Raw Beauty is my business. If y'all don't know, Raw Beauty is my business. And once I got into it, the money was so much and so like frequent. I was just making so much. I'm like, shit, I can keep doing this. Like I was getting addicted to it. And I've made fast money other ways before. Like I'm used to making fast money, but this was like, it was like a rush. Like I'm bad as hell. I'm in the club. I'm making a bag. Niggas is spending. I'm finessing, like not finessing like scamming or nothing, but like I'm playing with the numbers, negotiating. Like it was too easy for me. Like, and I bottle girl when I was in Alabama, but for a very short time, like probably like a month. So I wasn't completely new to it, but that way that I was making my money, that was like, I'm turned. Like I can't leave this. Like it started to take over me. And the club is already like a succubus. Like when you work in a club and work in nightlife, it's like a succubus energy. So and if you don't know what a succubus is, look it up, because I'm not gonna go into details, but it's like a succubus energy. You get stuck, like you get mesmerized, and you get stuck in that light, because you making a bag, you having fun, you looking good, you're doing your shit. And that feeling, that adrenaline that you get from doing that, it's like, can't nobody touch me. That's how I felt. I don't know about y'all, but that's how I felt, because it was really giving that. Like I'm in here, like I'm turned, like I came from a different city. I'm in a new city and I'm stamping my mark, like, you feel me? So it was just like, yeah, I just got addicted to it. And once we had stopped working there, my loyalty and addiction hindered me from elevating. My friend, she left, and I should have left with her because her bag didn't stop. My bag stopped because I sat there and was like, oh, let me be loyal, whatever, whatever. And nothing is wrong with being loyal. That's not what I'm saying. It's just that if you can't get caught up in that. I was caught up in that club and that promoter because I've never experienced, I don't want to say never, but I haven't experienced something like that in a minute. And the way that it was rapid firing for me, it was crazy. So it was like I was addicted to that whole like era, and I didn't want to let it go. So yeah, so I should have left my friend, because moving forward, we started working with this really known dude out here. He had got a club, and it was just like trash. Then we started working at other places, and it was just not, it wasn't sticking. And I was still with the same promoter, and nothing was sticking. And like just a whole bunch of drama started to arise and all of that. And I say that to say because I lost sight of what I started doing it for. So I'm just telling y'all, like, once y'all start this, do not lose sight of why you doing it. Do not get caught up in that shit. Do not get caught up in the drugs, the money, the niggas, the bitches. Don't get caught up in none of that, because it's gonna always be done. Make your bag and go home. Like, make your bag and go home. It's cool to pop out, whatever, but make your bag and go home. Do not be in, don't get in the mix. If you really popping your shit and you really doing that, the mix is gonna come to you. Like, let's be for real. Don't get caught up trying to stay in stuff to no. Yeah, I was just telling y'all, like, don't get caught up in this stuff. Like, everything that you want and everything that you need to have and all your opportunities, they're gonna come to you. So like, don't get stuck in that space like I did. Just learn from my mistakes. When you doing this bottle girl stuff, have a goal, have something that you're trying to do. Like, don't just do it for the money. Like, yeah, you can do it for the money, but like, don't get caught up in the money. Like, don't do it for like the fun, the entertainment, the boys, the niggas, the men. Like, don't do it for that, for the clout. Like, do not do that for that stuff. Like, I'm not saying that's what I was doing for, but like, don't do that, because it will backfire on y'all. And you just don't want to get addicted to that. And you also don't want to be like 35 working in the club, because there are girls who are that age working in the club, y'all. And like, you don't want to do that. Like, it's girls in there, they got kids, they big kids, not like babies, because you know they trying to make quick extra dollars. And I'm not saying nothing's wrong, you gotta do what you gotta do, but like, that's not your goal. That should never be the goal. That should never be the goal. Like, period. This is a stepping stone. This is something to help you elevate. And I feel like for me, it was that at first. It started off as that, but I got caught up. And then like, you don't want to get caught up in that stuff, because then the drama comes, y'all. The drama in the clubs, girl, I cannot. Like, that's one thing that I don't play with. Like, I don't play with that. I was just working in this club like probably a few months ago. Y'all got into a fight with a girl over a bottle, and the girl was pregnant. Like, y'all, we fist fighting. They told me, stop hit, because I was kicking her. They're like, don't hit her, she's pregnant. And I'm like, bro, why is she ran up on me at that over a bottle that was mine. Like, didn't make sense. I'm not fighting you over no bottle. Like, when you sit down and break it down, fighting over a bottle, and let me know if y'all want a story time about that, because I'm probably gonna give it to y'all. So yeah, fighting over a bottle, like, y'all, you have to be losing your mind to think that you about to fight over bottles. Like, that's crazy. Or yeah, just crazy stuff. Like, it be some crazy stuff. Like, I had one of my friends, she had gotten into it with some girls because they was mad she popped more bottles than them. Like, do y'all hear yourselves? Like, you sound slow. Like, you don't want to be that girl. You don't want to be in the mix. And don't be thinking these girls is y'all friends. They are not. Like, they're not. Like, I've definitely made me some good friends from working in like this environment, this industry. But like, a lot of these girls, they is not y'all friends. They is not. They don't show them your nigga. Don't be telling them, oh yeah, my nigga here, he did it. Like, don't be doing all of that. Like, stay in your lane, make your money, and go home. This is not a playground. Like, y'all have to understand, it's not a playground. Don't get caught up in with these promoters, y'all. These promoters be nasty. They be carrying stuff, like they be dirty. They be freaking on every girl they get a chance to look at. Like, you do not want to get caught up in that stuff. I'm telling you, listen to TT, listen to your auntie. Don't do it. Don't fucking do it. Okay, so let's get on the difference between the clubs and the pro teams. So I used to always say, like, oh no, I'd rather work with a promo team. I don't like the club because, the establishments, because you get stuck being at the establishment and it's drama. That is very true. That is very true. When you work at an establishment, that's when the drama really kicks in, because y'all see each other all the time. Y'all always around each other. Everybody talks. It just becomes messy, especially in this industry when it's like heavy money involved. You have these problems and you have to learn how to navigate. But that's why I'm telling y'all, make y'all money and go home. Do not be parlaying, because it will backfire. You be thinking y'all kikiing, y'all have fun, these your friends. No, because the first chance they get thrown under the bus and they get to steal your bag, they will take it, honey. Like, they will take it. So please understand that if you work at an establishment, be cool and be nice, but don't dive too deep in it. And I always try to do that, y'all, and somehow, some way, somebody got a problem with that. People will find a problem with that regardless. But the more you can just stay away from it, make it back and go home, you're good. And that was me. Like, I would be coming in, I would speak, I would whatever, sometimes I speak, whatever. Come in, I would make my money and I would leave. But I was so quiet, but I was so relevant because I was always looking, always making a bag, always securing something. And the owner was like, shit, put her on the floor. She's working nights. She's dead. I was, taking other people's spots, and it was becoming an issue. So it's like, now they feel this type of way, and it just became too much. So yeah, working at establishments, it's cool because you are in a safer environment. You do become like, you do get like a family sense. You do become like, your job is secured. It's safer. I'm gonna say it's safer, and it has its own benefits. If I could rate working at an establishment on a scale from 1 to 10, I would give it a 6. For me, this is for me. Like, you may be different, but for me, it's a 6. And that's really not that low. It's like dead in the middle. So yeah. Now, promo team. I prefer to work for a promo team because of these reasons. You don't see the same people every day. You're not in the same place every day. It's always opportunity to grow. People be having events. You working at different clubs, meaning you're meeting different people. You're gaining more experience. And now when you leave this promoter or that promoter, something happens to them and they can't work no more, you can go to those clubs and say, hey, I need a job. And they're gonna hire you because now you already know the system. You know everybody, you work there. It's just like you securing yourself in multiple places. So you're not just working at one club. And then you working at the same club, that club may die down. Like, the hype from that club may decrease. But when you work at multiple clubs at the same time, this club may be busting this week, or they may have a celebrity guest this week, and that club may be busting this week. Like, it's more opportunity for money. Like, that's how I look at it. Like, it's more opportunity for money, and it's more opportunity to gain for experience and exposure. So I just feel like it's better working at a promo team. And if I could rate a promo team on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm gonna give it an 8.5. Now, you could also do private events. You could work with somebody that's like a caterer or something, and you can get booked to do that. I've never done that, but they be making a lot of money because it's private, and sometimes you have to sign NDA, so you know what that means. Now, I'm gonna just talk about Houston's nightlife in general. Houston's nightlife in general is very up and down. So like, a lot of places out here are shut down because people don't pay their property taxes. The landlords kick them out. The contracts expire and they don't renew because the building is too expensive, or just the promoters in the place, they don't even have no writing contracts, so shit just hits the fan and now it's time to bounce. So it's like, your job is always on the line here. And I had to learn that the hard way. Like, your job is always on the line here. So don't depend on being a bottle girl. Like, you can make good money on being a bottle girl, but you should never depend on being a bottle girl. Like, that's not something you should do, because it fluctuates. I've worked at damn near every club that you can think of out here. And then those clubs get shut down and they get renamed and reopened. Houston's nightlife is always evolving. Sometimes it's up here, sometimes it's down here. Sometimes the nightlife industry is dead slow, sometimes it's busting to where you need to get in where you fit in. So it's like, you have to really just learn the industry, because you have to learn the city's industry, because one, every city is different. That's why this experience is for Houston. And then two, like I said, the nightlife evolves, it changes, and then you just don't know where you're gonna be in the next 2 months. Like, you thinking, oh, I'm working at this place, and then something could happen. Like, the club could get shut down, the owner could die, like anything could happen. Like, these are things that I know have happened in our experience. That's what I'm telling you. Like, Houston's nightlife, it evolves and it changes, and it fluctuates regarding the money and everything, and it has seasons. Like, the summer is lit, it's busting. Like, the summer is lit, it's busting. The fall is lit, it's busting. The winter is slow up until like New Year's. New Year's is when it picks back up. Then January to like the middle of March is slow, because people are in school and people just got done spending money on holidays. Like, the money is slow. Then it picks back up during March and on forward spring break. It literally, it's a business. So if every business has a slow season, a slow moment. So during those slow moments, you have to figure out what you're gonna do, because the nightlife experience, it changes. Like, you have to be on your P's and Q's when it comes to that. Don't just sit around and be like, oh, I'm gonna be a bottle girl and it's gonna be my end all be all. No, be a bottle girl and also be working here. Like, a lot of bottle girls, they in school, I know a lot of bottle girls that's getting a nursing degree, that's doing this. Like, I'm getting my real estate license. Like, you use this as a stepping stone. Don't get stuck in this shit. Like, don't do this. It's going to bite you in the ass. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna talk about is pimping. Okay, so now, when I moved out here, I grew up and known about pimps and hoes. Like, that's you know, the black culture, whatever. I've known about that stuff, but I did not know that pimping was a big thing in Houston. I did not know that. So when I moved out here and I started working in the industry, I'm learning that a lot of bottle girls are hoes. Like, they get pimped out. Like, literally, like, these promoters, they be pimps. So y'all have to be aware of that, because there's a high chance for you to get kidnapped, there's a high chance for you to get trafficked, and there's a high chance for you to get raped. It happens a lot. Go on TikTok, y'all can hear the stories. Houston specifically, they have a very high pimp culture out here. So you have to be mindful and pay attention to who you are working for. You can't just work for anybody. Like, everybody business is not good business. Everybody money is not good money. So don't get caught up in that. Oh, they got this many followers. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. People are literally getting pimped out here. Like, women promoters too. Like, y'all gonna hear the stories. The women promoters, they pimp bitches out all the time. Like, I'm telling y'all, like, you have to be careful. You cannot just be working for anybody. And if you aren't sure, I would say definitely give it a chance, see how it goes. But once they start inviting you to like private stuff, don't go right away. Pay attention when other girls come back with their stories. What happened? Well, you know, try to feel stuff out. And if you don't trust the other girls, then you don't trust them. Make your money and go home. You gonna have opportunities to get into other rooms. Like, don't be quick and thirsty to just be in these rooms with these people because they got these blue checks and all that stuff. Like, I done been around a lot of celebrities because of this stuff, y'all. And the experiences that I've experienced, these celebrities, I wouldn't dare try to sit in the section with them again. Like, these people is insane. Like, they will pimp you out to these celebrities. They will pimp you out to these regular ass niggas that's paying thousands of dollars for it. You have to be careful. Like, you just really have to be careful and pay attention. You don't want to get caught up in those stuff. Like, clubs get raided for that stuff and then you end up going to jail because you work there. It's happened. Like, I know people, I've experienced it myself. Like, it's a real thing. So just be careful with that. Discrimination is really real in this industry. Colorism, body shaming. Like, please be mindful of that. And I've experienced it when I first moved out here. It was people, I went to a casting call and they was blatantly saying like, oh, the light-skinned girl, the light-skinned girl. Like, they wasn't even looking at me, and I look good, okay? I look good. But they was like blatantly like, oh yeah, get the light-skinned girl, get the light-skinned girl. Like, damn, y'all ain't even trying to hide it out here. Like, they're very colorist out here. They're very colorist. So if you a chocolate Barbie, perfect body, like, be mindful that that might not be enough. They might want you to get on your knees and perform a little stuff, something, but don't do it. But I'm just saying, like, that's probably what they want you to do to prove yourself. Cause like the dark-skinned girls, we have to work a little bit harder. I don't know why, but they just prefer small, petite, light-skinned girls. And sometimes they want a light-skinned girl that got a big booty, or like a Hispanic girl that got a big booty. That's what they prefer out here. I don't know, but that's just what they prefer. And they will make it very obvious. And I'm gonna say, like, don't even get offended. Like, laugh at them. Like, if you peep that during a casting call, girl, walk out the motherfucking door. Cause you wasting your time. Like, you're wasting your time. Like, you're wasting your time. Because they're not gonna pick you. Like, once you start to, you see it, believe it. Like, don't sit there and wonder, like, I wonder if they being color. They're being colorist. It's right there. It's in your face, honey. It's there. Like, they're being colorist. And yeah, like, I've been telling my friends, like, oh girl, they not gonna hire me. I'm dark skinned. Like, I'm not ugly, but I'm just dark skinned. They not gonna hire me. They may be like, oh yeah, we only want a certain look. They have aesthetics out here. Like, clubs, they have certain aesthetics. They want their girls to look a certain way. Like, you will look on pages and you be like, all these bitches look the exact same. That's what they want. The discrimination is bad. And I've had people be like, some like ethnics, like some like certain cultures, or is it ethnicities? Yeah, certain cultures or ethnicities, they want specific looking girls too. They don't want girls that's too much of this, too much of that. They want everything is specific. So be careful. That's why I prefer to work for a woman, because I feel like they don't really care. But some of them are like that too. Like, for real, they be like that too. So just pay attention to that. And it's fucked up. Don't get offended though. Just be on your way, because now you just dodged a bullet. Like, that's how you gotta think about these. So for safety, I'ma say you need to be mindful of who you with, because people, they do, sex trafficking is #1 out here. We're the #1 city for sex trafficking in the United States of America. They will kidnap you out here. So you have to be careful. Don't be taking drugs from anybody. It happened to me, y'all. Like, it happened to me, happened to a few of my friends. I've gotten drugged, and people gotten drugged. Like, you have to be careful. Like, you cannot be taking stuff from people. You cannot just be doing anything and everything. Like, you have to be mindful of the company you keep. You cannot just be going riding in a car with people. You can't just, it's a lot of stuff you have to pay attention to. Don't be drinking out of people's bottles. That, like, some clubs, they be like, oh, take a shot. You take a shot and now you in the back of a van. Like, be careful. Don't be hyped. Don't be thirsty. Like, play your role. Like, don't get caught up in this stuff. You don't need to take a shot every time somebody offer you a drink. You don't need to pop out every time somebody asks you to go. You just don't need always have to be involved. You get what I'm saying? Like, play your role, make your money and go home. It's very dangerous out here. Houston is a very dangerous city for women, especially black women, minority women. You have to be careful. They know that we bottle girls. They prey on that. They're in the clubs with you. They the ones that just gave you a $500 tip. And then you in the back of their van. Like, be careful. Like, y'all have to be careful. Yeah, I've been trying to film the end of this for the longest. I done sweated off my makeup or whatever. But yeah, I just want to say my experience is up and down. And y'all just have to really, like, pay attention to your surroundings and just be safe. Yeah, that's really it. I don't want to go too far deep into it. And then I might do a part 2 if y'all want me to, like, touch on more topics. So just let me know, comment down below. I'm definitely going to give y'all that story time of the fight that I had when I was in Houston working as a bottle girl. So yeah, if y'all want to see that too, comment down below. But that video going to come about next week anyway. So yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that ding, that bell to let me know whenever y'all want to see something new. And bye.